We're gonna practice reading some long words today. Are you ready? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna show you what to do on this first one. So let me show you the word. The first thing we do when we see a long word is we're gonna look for any prefixes or suffixes that we might see on the word, and we're going to chop them off. Raise your hand if you can see any prefixes on this word. Yes, what prefix do you see?
Re.
Good. What is a prefix?
A prefix is something that starts at the beginning.
Good. It's a word part that comes at the beginning of the word. I'm going to chop that off. Good job. Now, do you see anything else on here that we could chop off? It's not any more prefixes. Do you see a suffix?
Yes. Ing.
Good. And what is a suffix?
It's like a prefix, except it comes at the end.
That's right. So a suffix is a word part that comes at the end. Very nice. So I've got my two affixes. That's a fancy way to say a prefix or a suffix. I've got both of those parts and I chop them off. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the word parts by themselves and then I'm going to say it fast. Okay, let's try this together. Ready? Re, play, ing. Replaying. Can you say it?
Replaying.
Good job. Let's try another one. All right, take a look at this word here. Can you see a prefix? Yes.
Over.
Good. Do you know what over means as a prefix?
So much of it.
Yeah, that's right. Like too much, right? Do you see any suffixes here?
Mm-hmm.
What's the suffix that you see?
Id.
That ed. Now we do have to be a little bit tricky when we get to that ed because sometimes it can be pronounced three different ways. Yeah, sometimes it's pronounced like a d, sometimes it's a t, and sometimes it sounds like id. Let's see which one we can figure out on this one. Okay, ready? Let's look at our word parts. We've got over, what's this middle one? Joy, and then this might be id or d or t.
Overjoyed.
Okay, let's try it. Overjoyed. Overjoyed. Can you say it?
Overjoyed.
Overjoyed.
Good. Show me how you read it.
Overjoyed.
Say the whole thing.
Overjoyed.
Good. Let's see if we can figure out what overjoyed might mean. So we talked about over means too much, right? So what do you think overjoyed could mean?
Overjoyed means you're excited too much.
Yeah, super, super excited, right? Has there ever been a time that you felt overjoyed? Can you say it in a sentence? I was overjoyed.
I was overjoyed when I got a game that I liked.
Yeah, that would be a time to be super excited. Have you ever been overjoyed?
Yes. I was overjoyed when I went to the fair.
When you went to the fair is a time to be overjoyed. Okay, nice job. Okay, let's try another one. I'm going to give you a longer word this time. What's the first thing we do when we get to a big, long word?
We chop off the prefixes and the suffixes.
Very nice. Do you see any prefixes that we could chop off? Yeah. Dis, good. That D-I-S is a prefix. Do you see any suffixes that we can chop off?
Ed.
Ed. Okay. Was that enough to help you read this word, or do you think you might need a little bit of extra help?
Maybe a little bit of extra help with the middle one.
Okay. So what we do when we get to a word that we're not sure, first we chop off the prefixes and suffixes. Then we're going to label the vowels. Do you know what letters are our vowels?
Yeah.
What are our vowels?
A, E, I, O, U.
Good job. Do you see any vowels here in this middle part?
O and E.
Good. So I'm going to put a little V for vowel above those to show that those are my vowels. Now, I don't have to worry about what's on the outside of my vowels, but I do want to look at what's on the inside of my vowels. And those are consonants. So I'm going to put a little C. VCCV. Now, VCCV is a pattern in English. It's called a syllable division pattern. And a pattern is something that happens over and over again. We see this pattern in a lot of different words. When we see this pattern, we know we can divide it in between these two consonants. So it's going to sound like connect. We're going to divide it right there. Connect. Have you ever heard connect?
No.
What does that sound kind of like? Does that sound kind of like a word you know?
Connect.
Connect. Perfect. So this, now that we know how to say this middle word, let's try to put all the pieces back on. Ready? Okay, so what was our prefix?
Dis.
Dis. And what was our middle?
Connect.
And, oh, that's got those 3 different pronunciations.
Id.
Id. What do you think? Should we say the whole thing and see if we can figure it out?
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Dis.
Connect.
Id.
Yeah, good. Disconnect. Id. Say the whole thing. Disconnected. Very nice. Now I'm going to give you an even bigger one. Do you think you can handle it?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Now this one actually has 2 different patterns in the middle. I'm still going. Can you believe that? How long that word is? It's so long. What's the first thing we do?
Chop off the prefixes and the suffixes.
Good. Do you see anything we can chop off?
Under and ton. Tion.
Good. Under. And then-
shun.
Yeah, I like that you already know how to pronounce that. Shun. Okay. Do either one of you remember what we're going to look for and label here in the middle?
The vowels.
Very
And
nice.
consonants.
The vowels and then the consonants in between. So I'm going to start with the first vowel. So I've got vowel, vowel. Do you see another vowel here?
A.
The A, good. Now I'm going to just look at my first 2 first. So I've got vowel and I've got some, what are those things called in the middle?
Consonants.
Consonants. Consonants and consonants. Okay. This is the VCCV pattern. Do you remember where I'm going to put my dot when I have a VCCV pattern? That's right, in between those 2 consonants, right? So this would be S, okay? So we've got our first syllable in here in the middle is S. Now, I have 2 more vowels, so I can't stop, okay? I've got to keep labeling. But this time I only have 1 consonant in between. This is called a VCV pattern. VCV pattern is a little bit tricky because sometimes it can be divided one way and sometimes it can be divided the other. So we're going to try both and see which one sounds right. So if we divide it here, it would sound like, wait, what was our prefix again?
Under.
Under. What do we have so far?
S.
S. So we've got under, S. Let me see what this one is. That would be, if I'm dividing it there, that would be an open syllable, which would be pronounced tie. So we would have S, tie, and then this one, since this would be another open syllable, that would be may. S, tie, may.
And then
What was our suffix here?
shun.
Shun. Okay, let's see if that sounds like a word we know. Let's see if we can put it all back together. Ready? Underestimation. Underestimation. Does that sound like something you know? What does that sound like?
Estimation.
Underestimation. Very good. So that wasn't right to divide it there, was it? It made it sound like time. Sometimes with that VCV pattern, we actually need to divide it here. So it would be Let's try that again. Ready? Underestimation. Say it fast.
Underestimation.
Underestimation. Good. So underestimation means thinking that something isn't as important, difficult, or powerful as it really is. Okay, nice work today.